Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Shanks is Teach's brother and a D! The latest chapter of the manga revealed huge secrets, but many people might not have fully understood what all of this really means. Shanks, the Yonkou, could truly be a D just like Luffy, being part of the same clan as Davy Jones, Rox D. Zebek, and the maternal brother of Marshall D. Teach, which even reveals his connection with the other Yonkou. You'll understand everything in today's video. Chapter 1159, titled The Island of Destiny, is a whirlwind of revelations bringing up the God Valley incident 38 years ago, where Shanks's and Teach's fates intersect. It all starts with the kidnapping of Shakuyaku, Shaki, former empress of the Kuja in Hachinosu, by the traitor Aochoku, who kills Don Marlin and shocks the world, even paralyzing the global economy. Chapter 1159. This attracts legends like Roger, Rayleigh, Rox, and Garp to God Valley, where the Celestial Dragons organize a cruel tournament, with Shaki as the grand prize, either the winner's wife or slave. At the center of the plot, we see Garling Figureland, a celestial dragon, murder a red-haired woman, the mother of the twins Shanks and Shamrock, while she begs Monkey D. Dragon to save her children. Chapter 1159. At the same time, a young Teach and his mother, both from the Davy clan, appear in a cage, targets of the tournament. The Master of Ceremonies announces the Davy clan as a super rare rabbit, hunted for 800 years, along with the Buccaneer clan of Kuma. The theory? The red-haired woman killed by Garling is the mother of Shanks, Shamrock, and Teach, making them blood siblings. In Chapter 1159, Garling returns to God Valley and meets the red-haired woman who presents the twin Shanks and Shamrock. He rejects her, saying that God Valley will disappear and that he already has a chosen wife, Shaki, to be won in the tournament. Coldly, he stabs the woman, who falls, while pleading to Dragon to save her children. Chapter 1159. The scene is tragic, but what draws attention is the timing coincidence. On the same island, a young Teach appears with his mother, also faceless, handcuffed, and marked as a target of the tournament for being part of the Davy clan. Chapter 1159. Rox, revealing his real name as Davy D. Zebek, says he sent his wife and son, Teach, to God Valley, his homeland, to protect them, trusting the Davy clan. Chapter 1159. The theory suggests that the red-haired woman is the wife of Rox and Garling, mother of Teach, Shanks, and Shamrock, linking the two Yonkou in an explosive lineage. How could this be possible? The red-haired woman may have had a relationship with Rox, giving birth to Teach, before becoming involved with Garling, who fathered the twins Shanks and Shamrock. In Chapter 1159, Rox says he sent his wife and son to God Valley to protect them, but doesn't mention other children, leaving room for the red-haired woman to have had Shanks and Shamrock later with Garling. The connection to the Davy clan reinforces this. Teach is explicitly Davy D. Teach, Chapter 1159, and the red-haired woman, native to God Valley, could be a Davy, married first to Rox, a Davy, and later to Garling, a Figureland. Her death by Garling would be a double betrayal. He kills her to erase her connection to a Davy and secure Shaki as his wife, while the tournament hunts the Davy clan, including Teach and his mother. If Shanks and Teach are brothers, this explains their opposite paths. Shanks, raised by Roger after being saved in God Valley, Chapter 966, is a Yonkou who seeks balance, protecting Luffy, Chapter 1, and negotiating with the Gorosei, Chapter 907. Teach, orphaned after the God Valley tragedy, becomes Blackbeard, a Yonkou obsessed with power, hunting devil fruits, Chapter 925, and challenging Garp, Chapter 1157. In Chapter 225, Luffy and Zoro feel something strange in Teach, calling him they, suggesting multiple souls, perhaps linked to Davy blood, Chapter 1159. Shanks, with his supreme haki that can stop admirals like Ryokugyu, Chapter 1054, may have inherited the same potential but chose a path of freedom, not destruction. The fraternal connection is reinforced by their origins in God Valley. In Chapter 1159, both are on the island as children, targets of the Celestials tournament. Shanks, saved by Dragon and delivered to Roger, Chapter 1159, grows up as an apprentice on the Oro Jackson, Chapter 966, while Teach, without a clear protector, survives in the underworld, perhaps hardened by the loss of his mother, Chapter 1159. In Chapter 957, Sengoku says that Shanks and Buggy were Roger's apprentices, but Teach, also present in God Valley, is never mentioned as part of the crew, suggesting he followed a solitary path. Shanks' eye scar, given by Teach, Chapter 434, gains emotional weight, a strike between brothers, perhaps motivated by resentment or betrayal linked to their mother's death. The theory is supported by several manga clues. First, the Davy clan is central in Chapter 1159, described as a lineage hunted for 800 years, connected to Davy D. Jones, a legendary pirate from the Void Century, Chapter 1096. Rox as Davy D. Zebek Beck confirms that God Valley is his homeland and the home of the Davy clan. Chapter 1159, the red-haired woman native to the island could be a Davy, mother of Teach, Rox's son, and of Shanks and Shamrock, Garling's sons. In Chapter 1086, Garling is confirmed as a Figureland and Shanks' father, but the mother is never mentioned until Chapter 1159, where she appears as Garling's victim. The coincidence of Teach and Shanks being in God Valley, both linked to mothers under threat, suggests that the red-haired woman is key. Second, Garling's betrayal. In Chapter 1159, he kills the red-haired woman, rejecting her for Shacky and claiming God Valley will disappear. This aligns with the cruelty of the Figurelands, shown in Chapter 1086 as sacred knights loyal to Emu. If the red-haired woman was Rox's wife, Garling could have used her to father Shanks and Shamrock, only to discard her upon discovering her connection to the Davy clan, an enemy of the world government. Chapter 1114. Teach's presence in a cage with his mother reinforces that the Davy were priority targets, and the red-haired woman, as their mother, connects the two Yonku. Third, Dragon's role. In Chapter 1159, he saves Shanks, but there's no mention of saving Teach. This could indicate that Teach, orphaned, grew up with hatred, while Shanks, raised by Roger, inherited a sense of honor. In Chapter 1, Shanks saves Luffy, mirroring Dragon's act, suggesting he carries the same protective spirit, perhaps knowing he is a D, or out of gratitude to Roger. Teach's scar on Shanks, Chapter 434, could be an act of revenge. Teach, knowing that Shanks was saved while he suffered, attacks the brother who escaped the fate of God Valley. Shanks and Teach as brothers would be a One Piece level twist. In Chapter 1114, Vegapunk says that the bearers of the D challenge the world, and if both are children of a Davy, this explains their opposing strengths. Shanks, the guardian of balance, Chapter 907, and Teach, the agent of chaos, Chapter 1157. The red-haired mother, killed by Garling, would be the tragic link, connecting the Davy clan to Figureland blood. In Chapter 1054, Shanks uses his haki to stop Ryokugyu, showing raw power. Teach, with his devil fruits, Chapter 925, seeks absolute power. The fraternal rivalry would mirror Luffy and Ace, Chapter 999, but with a darker tone. Brothers separated by tragedy, fighting for opposite visions of One Piece. In Chapter 1154, Shanks is in Elbaf, negotiating with giants, perhaps laying the groundwork for Luffy, Chapter 1079. If he is Teach's brother, his presence could foreshadow a final confrontation, where Shanks faces Blackbeard to protect the legacy of One Piece, Chapter 1114. Luffy's Grand Fleet, with 5,640 pirates, Chapter 800, would be the army Shanks supports, while Teach, with his Titans, Chapter 1081, seeks to destroy it. Imagine the scene. Shanks, Griffon in hand, facing Teach. You are my brother, but I won't let you touch Luffy's dream. Luffy, in Gear 5th, would be laughing in the background as the Grand Fleet blows up ships. The theory has holes. First, Chapter 1159 does not explicitly confirm that the red-haired woman is Teach's mother. She could be just Shanks's and Shamrock's mother, while Teach's mother is another Davy. Second, Shanks doesn't use the D in his name, unlike Teach, Davy D. Teach, suggesting he might reject or be unaware of his Davy heritage. Chapter 966. Third, the timeline is tight. Teach is older than Shanks, Chapter 957, and the red-haired woman would have had to have Teach with Rox years before having Shanks and Shamrock with Garling. Finally, Shamrock, Shanks' twin, is not linked to Teach, which weakens the sibling theory. Still, the proximity of both in God Valley and the emphasis on the Davy clan make the theory plausible. If Shanks and Teach are brothers, the final showdown will be epic. In Chapter 1157, Teach captures Garp, showing his ambition. Shanks and Elbaf, Chapter 1154, seems to be paving the way for Luffy. A clash between them with Shanks revealing, "We are brothers, Teach, but you chose the wrong path," would be the narrative climax. The Davy clan, linked to the Void Century, Chapter 1115, could be the key to One Piece, and Shanks as half Davy, half Figureland would be the balance between two worlds. In Chapter 1086, Garling, now leader of the Sacred Knights, could be the final villain Shanks faces, avenging their mother. Imagine the climax. Shanks, his haki cutting through the sky, faces Teach, while Luffy, with Nika, Chapter 1044, laughs in the background. The Grand Fleet applauds, and Dragon, knowing Shanks' past, smiles. You honored your mother, Redhead. It would be the union of the D's against Emu, with Shanks and Teach as opposites of the same blood. Guys, this theory of Shanks and Teach as brothers, children of the red-haired Davy woman, is pure narrative chaos based on Chapter 1159, 4,000 words of secrets and haki. What do you think? Could the redhead and the bearded guy really be brothers? Comment like, subscribe for more. Until next time, and may your hockey be as strong as the Red Yonkers. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.